Alright guys, so in episode 95, I briefly showed you my villager trading system. Well, it's a lot more complicated than it was back then. So I want to show you guys what I plan on working on in this video and stuff. Here you can see we've got priest trading, and there's two different spots here. This is pre 1.8 and this is post 1.8. Then we've got pre and post librarian, pre and post farmer, pre and post butcher, and pre and post blacksmith. Now the blacksmith one goes right underneath Pecos' rail line. So I've already talked with him about moving it. And I want to sort of demonstrate why it's so important that I have to move it. And here, this should give you an idea. You can see that these go up pretty high. And I've built all of them up except for the one for the blacksmith because Pecos' rail line is right there. So here you can see it. Right? Now, I want to demonstrate exactly what these things do. So I'm going to hop on a minecart and show you. So let's see. I guess pre 1.8 librarians is probably pretty empty. I feel like that's not really true. I think there's one guy in here. So if I was to go down, I would land here, and then on my way down, I would go and I'd hit that detector rail, and now I'm going to go up here, and that first detector rail activated all the iron trap doors that are about to show up. So now I'm at the top. By the way, I wasn't pressing any buttons. That activated all on its own. Hello there. Oh god. Dang it. Oh, well, here's the redstone that activates all these trapdoors. Man, it put me on the other side of the glass. That is just terrible. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to use my silk touch bow to get back in here. Let's see. I'm trying to think of the best way to do this. There we go. Alright. So I'm just going to stick this back. And we'll oh my god. We'll continue our demonstration. I guess the easiest way would be to just do this again. So I'm going to go forward. Now, here's the thing. Stupidly, I'm working on this project where only the very first, what do you call it? Only the very first snapshot for the new mechanics for minecarts has come out. And that's kind of dumb for me to work on it that way because things are bound to change, but I don't know. We'll see. So once you're in here, you'd wait until somebody else went through, but I installed these buttons to activate the stuff so that if I ever needed to go through to flush something out, I could. So you can see over there, I don't want to get out again. I'll end up on the other side, but you could see, if you remember, the redstone that was activating for these iron trapdoors. So you push this button, and what basically happens is you fall through the trapdoor, but you catch on the next trapdoor's open state. So see how they open like that? Now, when I'm pressing this button, I'm not actually opening the one underneath, so I'm falling in a little bit of a different pattern, but it basically does the same thing. So once I get through everything here, you can see that, like, once it cycles through, so imagine this is filled with villagers, which means that every single time I do it, I'm going to get a new villager in there. And that's basically how this works. I don't know where my pre 1.8 librarian went, but I'll have to figure that out later. I need to put this guy somewhere so I can pick that one up. Anyway, so that's what's going on with that. So like I said, I need to move... it's just going to end up being in trouble. I need to move Pecos' rail line, because as you can see, it's in the way. Alright, you guys. So the footage you just saw was something I recorded a little over 3 months ago. To make a long story very short, I had some hard drive issues which caused me to lose a lot of footage. And it was sort of crucial to what I was working on for that particular episode. And I've actually built quite a bit around my base. And I don't know, it really derailed the whole process of working on episode 96, which is, of course, this episode, since so much stuff had changed and I lost the footage of me working on it. Now, I do have some footage. I actually didn't even realize I had the footage you just saw until I sat down to work on this video again today. And like I said, it just derails the whole process of working on content when you lose that kind of footage, and it's really hard to get back into the swing of things. So I do have a little bit of footage I want to show you guys right now of sort of an in-between process. So this is sort of what it looked like a couple months ago, and this is what we've got now. So as you can see, you know, I've got the fountain from my also I got pranked. I got the fountain here from my zombie villager purifier episode, where I designed that thing where I'm going to have villagers float up through here, and then they're going to just go ahead and populate this sort of village. Now the design for this thing is based on, like, what I was sort of thinking about while I was working on it was the Millennium Fair from Chrono Trigger. So I just been sort of working on this stuff. I built my first boat. It's like a little trading vessel, although it does have cannons. Why did I put those on there? Come to think of it, that is kind of weird. Anyway, so I've got a little dock. You know, I just thought I've been working on stuff like I fortified this wall. I thought it looked a little bit better, and I don't know. I'm just when I basically, and I'm sure I've said this before. But when I rebooted Third Echelon the first time, like many years ago, well, not many years ago, I guess maybe 2 years ago now, when we went from being a server with just a bunch of my friends to turning that basically into a creative server and then switching back to survival, that reboot, I tried to work differently. Like when I first started working in Minecraft, I built sort of like Etho into the caves, and that's a really fun way to work because you only have to worry about interior decorating, I guess. But I wanted to work in a different way when I rebooted the server. I wanted to really push myself to work in a way where I would be building into the natural scenery. And I got sort of hung up on that for a long time, and now I'm trying to break away from that again, and that's what this multi-tiered sort of system I've got going on here is. Just me sort of trying to break that almost slavery sort of feeling that I have towards that concept of wanting to stick to building within the scenery, because it just makes it really hard to do anything. And I'm just trying to fix up the process, I suppose, of working on things. So, anyway, this is going to be a very awkward episode because I've got just random footage from all sorts of different things that are going to need to get thrown in here. As you guys know, I was going to build a castle up here. I think I mentioned that in Season 1, and we're in like Season 6 now, I think. I'm not sure. And for the record, the way that I separate my playlists into seasons is based on what version of Minecraft we're playing in. So now that we're in 1.8 snapshots, I think I'm going to have to change what season. You know, I'm going to have to make a new playlist. I'm not sure. I might have already been in there. I'm not 100% on that. But basically, I guess I should start over here because this is where the prank technically begins. But basically, what I was going to say is that rather than tear this down, I mean, I'm still going to tear it down, but I'm going to replace the blocks. I was thinking about leaving the sheep's head and a portion of its body. What, didn't he put signs? Yeah, it's like I guess I'll go through the legs. That might be the safest way to do this, because I literally, just before recording, died by falling off over here because I forgot I took off my feather falling boots. Alright. Thanks for the wool. I'm done with it. To get some cool loot, go to the back, climb up the ladder, and jump for your life. When I first read that, I immediately knew what was in here. Oh, that was weird. The snapshot is really strange. We're playing on 14W27B, even though 28A, I think, is out. We are playing on 27B because... come on. Because the other one was crashing the server every time I logged in. And then you can tell while he was working here, it started snowing at different times because it's the high altitude. Anyway, so what was I saying? I knew what was going to be here, and for some reason, like I knew it was going to be something like this, and I figured it was going to be slime blocks because Example has a slime farm, but apparently not. So Let's see if we can do this in our first try. Oh, that was... that didn't look good from the beginning. Nope. Jump. Alright. So, we've been doing quite a bit of stuff. I'm trying to think of all the things that have changed. I built a path, or a nether portal to Joe's western town. Oh, man. It's like, do I want to concentrate? Because it seems like I'm doing much better when I'm talking. I built a path to Joe's western town. This is where I'll die if I fall. Ooh. You know, if he had been really mean, he would have used ice instead of wool. Because I'd slide around on it. Or do you slide? I feel like you do. I'm not sure. I think you do. It's been a long time since I've been on ice in here. Yeah, so he gave me all this stuff. And since I've got this on camera now, take that stuff. Man, there's a lot of wool. Gave me a beacon. Yeah, we've been working on the, what do you call it? The wither farm. Let's see. Last time I burrowed through the face, but I don't want to do that this time. Also, I owe Example some diamonds. Anyway. So, something worth noting is that when we updated to this server host, at least I think that's when it happened, the seed got changed. And nobody realized it because, you know, we just figured it was the new terrain generating. And I started to realize, and I really don't know exactly when this happened, but I started to notice that I'd have mismatched terrain that sure seemed to be, you know, the newer terrain rather than the old type of biome. And then I double checked on it, and sure enough, the seed had been put in incorrectly. And, oh, by the way, I'm sunburned. And that wouldn't be a huge deal, except for the fact that monuments were, you know, the new guardians and stuff like the 1.8 underwater temple things, they're not spawning in the right place. And I'm going to go ahead and show you guys, I started building, Example and I started working on a guardian farm. And to give you an idea of where it is, once you passed Kashi's little turnoff on Alamantis' rail line, basically the very next right turn is the way to get to it. It's one of two ways that you can currently use to get to it. And there's actually a double path right here, because the original portal used to be right here, but I moved it. I lowered it in the overworld pretty significantly. And I moved it a couple blocks, so there's a desyncing issue, and now it's down here. And what I mean by down here is, hold on, let me get beacon effect. There we go. What I mean by down here is that it's like, you know, Y, what are we at? 32, because it's underwater, and obviously we use sand to get the majority of the water out. We used a couple sponges. Currently, this is all we have, and you... Oh, Endermite. What? What? Look at how fast that thing's spinning. Is it getting faster? I feel like stuff should start pulling from off screen and getting sucked into it at the speed it's going. Oh my goodness. That is just weird. Dang, I waited here for like 2 Minecraft days and the thing kept spinning. And then I went to go get a name tag, and by the time I got back, he was despawned. Now, this is just our temporary little test here. And as you can see, the rates are really good, even just for this little area. You know, we're getting some pretty significant drops. But honestly, I gotta say, like, the monument itself doesn't look out of place in Minecraft, but the drops you get from these guys are used to craft those blocks, and it just seems Like, I hope in the next couple snapshots they make those items useful to craft it with other things to make something else. Because this seems kind of like a waste of a farm if all we're really getting are fish at the moment. And, you know, I know we get the items required to craft the new lights and stuff, but I just don't see it yet. You know, I don't know. We'll see how things go. Anyway, so what's weird about this and what's kind of interesting about the fish thing is, like I was telling you before about the seed issue, is that this thing generated halfway into a deep ocean and halfway into a jungle biome. So what we could do is create an ocelot farm up here, and use the fish to easily tame ocelots, and get them, you know, to turn into tamed cats. Now, let's see. So I guess the next thing I want to show you guys is... Give me that. Nope. The next thing I want to show you guys is going to be the alternate path. Oh god, I don't have feather falling. The alternate path to get to this area. Just so you guys know, you know, where it is. Basically, you just go to the Mushroom Island and you just keep going and then turn right. And there's a little break here that goes to where Joe Craftness base used to be, and I think he just relocated. You know, he set up his base of operations at the western town. But one thing I did want to mention is that, you know, sort of the way that I discovered that the seed was wrong, is I loaded up the 1.7 world. You know, the world that I had gone to in 1.7. By the way, the snapshot's been doing this to a couple portals, so don't go through there if you're about to die, because it'll kill you. But I loaded up the world I made for the 1.6, 1.7 terrain stitching that I was attempting to do, and I saw that a monument should have spawned, like, right in the Mushroom Island, like, right around here. And when I finally fixed the seed, which, thank goodness, didn't break the one we had started building the Guardian farm at. But when I finally started... when I finally fixed the seed, it turns out that, look at, they're right offshore. And what's weird is that they're actually spawning in Mushroom Island biomes, which should prevent hostile mobs from spawning, but I guess they have a special spawning algorithm. So that's kind of interesting. Now this is a regeneration resistance because I got my ass handed to me by those guys when I first found them over here, because I didn't swimming seems to be significantly harder now that they added the depth strider enchantment or whatever. And real quick, I want to just address something that Koala is doing. He's building a PvP arena in the ocean right here, and I left him a little note. You can kind of see all the signs from here, but if he sees this video, this will just be a little bit easier for him to understand what I'm talking about. Basically, it might be more beneficial for the people of the server if, rather than build it here, and we can always figure out something else to build, so if you don't want to build it somewhere else, that's fine. But rather than building the PvP arena there, it might be a good idea for us to find out where the bounding box of where these guys can spawn is, and build the PvP arena over here to make this island a little bit safer. Because, like I said, I got destroyed by these guys, even though they shouldn't technically be able to spawn as hostile mobs in this area. So it might be a good idea to build it off over here, but we can always figure out something else to build over there. Anyway. So, I guess I need to head back to... Actually, I want to head to Example's Wither Farm, where he's at right now, because I got to give him this this diamond block, because as I said earlier, I owe him some diamonds, because at one point I was having a really hard time with the Guardians, and he lent me a diamond block to craft some armor. So, I'll see you guys when I get there. Alright, so we are at Example's Wither Farm. And I just wanted to leave him a present. I've been here while he was AFK, getting a skull. so I'd have more than just the present I was going to leave. I'm going to put it out here, so you might not find it right away. Let's see if I can even do this. So I owe him this diamond block. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. Oh, good. I can. There we go. So while I was on my way out of Example's nether base, it turns out that some mobs had spawned in the shark cage, so I guess this thing does work. Anyway, let's go ahead and look at Pecos's new rail line. Alright, so since we're going to Pecos's base anyway, I actually have a zombie villager in here that I was saving to bring to Big Bad Loser. But it turns out that he got some zombie villagers of his own to purify. So I'm going to bring this guy over to Pecos. Oh, and this is awkward because he can't cross the... yeah. He doesn't want to cross the tracks. Alright. So I am going to get him over to Pecos. So I've got... oh god, no. Don't hit. Oh, thank goodness. I've got this zombie pigman moonwalking towards me. Because the zombie villager's pushing him. Come on. I decided to go down towards Taco. Because I... Are you serious? There we go. Because I built a rail line. Oh, no. Oh, whew. Not a rail, but a path from around Taco's base to Pecos. Okay, this is getting annoying. You're dead. You're dead. You're dead. Phew. Okay. Is he not carrying? Oh, no, he's still carrying it. It's just this weird snapshot. Okay, good. This is broken. Snapshot's doing weird stuff with portals. I should come back and relight that for him later. So while I'm almost there, I think I'll show you guys just a brief amount of footage of me talking with Pecos about the plans. Here's the outside of what we worked on. Let's see. Probably should just go down there. Yeah. I got another moonwalking incident coming up. Okay, good. No! Oh dear. Oh crap! No! Oh my god. Why didn't I think that was gonna happen? Oh well. Oh, great. I wouldn't even have been able to get in from over here. Alright, so... oh, froze. Let's see. So anyway, what basically happened was we moved Pecos's whole rail system over, and then... let's see. I can't get in from... I can get in from over here. Okay, so I built... We sort of... he worked on this, made this really cool thing up here. Long story short, he logged off after I briefly mentioned, like, hey, I had an idea, and he said, yeah, go for it. And this is what I did, this spiral, because what happened was he had a system that would come down here, and at the time, the minecart mechanics caused it to derail, and you'd actually take damage. So I set up this system, and it looks like an awful lot, but it's actually really easy to have reverted. And he kind of freaked out at first because it seemed like so much, like I changed so much, but in reality it wasn't all that much in the long run. But this is the new system, so this will take you over to... oh, by the way, this is the current snapshot we're on. This thing's rendering backwards like the fence gates, or not, I always call them fence gates, the trapdoors. Which I don't even remember if I showed on camera, so I might do that towards the end of this. Actually, why don't we just go to Pecos's base and see if we can find some trapdoors to wrap up this video there. So here's what he's been working on, apparently. Looks pretty cool, as usual, you know. Looks like he's been putting a lot of effort into it. And as far as the trapdoors thing I was talking about, as you can see, the hitbox is technically over here, but it's rendering incorrectly due to the snapshot. Anyway, I know this has been a bit of an awkward episode, but it's sort of just one of those things where I kind of have to make it so that we can kind of move on with the whole series, you know, just because it's been sort of derailed because of the lost footage, and I just need to sort of get over that. That looks really weird. Anyway, guys, so I'm going to call it an end for this episode now, and hopefully we'll get moving on to some more productive work in the future pretty soon. All right, thanks again for checking this out, and I'll see you guys next time. I forgot to show you guys what the snapshot's been doing to my nether base. It gets really laggy. There we go. There we go. Oh, I had some chests a second ago. Had a ton of them a little bit earlier, right here. You can see it really well in spectator mode if I fly it around. I don't know why it's doing this, but it just decides to render the stuff upside down, and it rotates and moves. I don't know why, but it's been fun. Except for the lag. It has incredible lag. Anyway, guys, I'll see you later.